Welcome back, guys. And
We were hyped. I mean, the amount of let's goes that were sent back and forth is crazy.
I think this trade kind of shocked us a little. It kind of shocked me.
super exciting.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Let's get hyped and let's get into the video.
All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. We are back. First announcement of the video. We hit 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. It's a small milestone, but it is a big one for us. We're super excited to hit 100, triple digits. Let's go. We have a Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead. Denon, tell them about it.
Yeah, so again, thank you for letting us hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. We will be running a giveaway. If the way to get entered is go over to our Instagram account at Talking Tridents, comment Nuke Rayleigh on the post. This will be on the front of the post, so you'll know which post to do, and we will pick a winner on the 24th in honor of Ken Griffey Jr.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's get into the video here. We have some stuff to talk about. Mariners just swept the Astros in a huge
Who would have
series.
thought, dude?
Four-game series, which was great. And we definitely needed those 4 wins, to say the least. Slow start so far for the Mariners. This is our first video since the season started. So, yeah, a lot to unpack on this slow start.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate. Starting the season 4-9 was definitely not on my bingo card. I thought that we had a really good team leading into it, and unfortunately they've been underperforming. But they took advantage of the really, really bad pitching of the Houston Astros. Gathered a lot of walks, a lot of runs. Naylor, Julio, and Cal all looked like they were starting to trend in the right direction. So overall, ending the series with a sweep of the Astros, and now 8-9, just 2 away from first in the AL West. That's a much better spot to be in than we thought.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, before that Astros series, I was really, really down about the season so far. But hey, we're right back in it now, and I know it's early, so I don't think it's too early to panic.
No.
You know what? The Mariners, offense has really been struggling so far. That's been our main weakness, and we saw the offense come alive in the Astros series. But was that because of the Astros pitching and how bad they've been, or is it our offense finally starting to, come alive? There's a couple ways to look at it. What do you think?
I mean, I really hope it's the latter because, I mean, we're just too talented of an offensive team to be hitting the way we did those first, 13 games. I mean, lead off Brendan Donovan, working way to Cal, Julio, Naylor, Randy, and then even Luke Rayleigh and Canzone and Young and JP. I mean, that's a really good lineup on paper. It's a pretty deep lineup, a lot of really good stats over the years for those guys. So I want to believe that, this is the series that we turned it around. I want to believe that the Astros are going to, again, help us flip the switch, just like kind of last year when we swept them before that playoff run. So I want to say it's the bats are heating up. Now we are facing the Padres next series and the Rangers the following, 2 great pitching staffs. So, I mean, I'm thinking the bats are starting to heat up, and I think we're going to go on that run that we expected us to go on after this. But I think the next 2 series are going to be really telling.
Yeah, I hope so. Even if it was the Astros pitching that has been struggling, that, I hope that still kickstarts our offense and that we roll into this Padres series hot, and it gives those guys the confidence. So when they do face, better pitching now, they're like our offense is going. We're going to be posting this, or we're recording this before the Padres game today on Tuesday. So, we'll see what happens, but I really hope the offense can take from that Astros series and keep it rolling even against, the better pitching to come, because we got to Naylor had 2 home runs last night, which was great. Donovan's still been playing well since he came back from that small injury. Patrick Wisdom is up now. Rob Refsnyder's on the paternity list. So honestly, Rob Refsnyder hasn't done anything offensively. So,
other than that catch he had to save Wu's start last time, I mean, that's the only thing I can say is noteworthy about Rob Refsnyder.
For sure. The funny thing is, the only thing that his defense has been good and his offense has been non-existent. So
we're not paying him for defense, unfortunately.
No, and he's had limited playing time, but he's done absolutely nothing. So, does he even what? How many hit? Does he even have a hit?
He has no
I
hits
think
right
so.
now. He has
Yeah, I
not.
didn't think
He has no
so.
hits. He's gotten on base a few
He
times
has a
from via
walk. I
walk,
think he
but
has a couple
yeah,
one or two
yeah.
walks. But yeah, that's. So Patrick Wisdom is up. A lot of people have been hyped about it. I don't know really why. I mean, he went
He
off
has
in
9
AAA so
home
far.
runs for
Yeah,
the Rainiers right now. He has no
which is
single or no doubles, no triples, but 9 home runs.
that's actually crazy. But he was with the Cubs for a while, and then over in Japan. Um, I mean,
I I
hopefully
mean,
he
hopefully
can do
he can
something.
come up
But
and do something. I mean, we haven't seen Connor Joe really do much, and he was called up
no,
recently.
yeah,
But we'll see. I mean, it's again, the Padres are a really good team. They're sitting at what are they at right now? They're sitting at 10 and
I think
6 right
they're
now,
yeah.
only a few games about behind the Dodgers. So it's gonna be a telling series, and not only is it a big series, but it's also the Vetter Cup, which is I know kind of a gimmick between the two cities, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Hey, we won last year. We won the Better Cup last year,
That's
so
right.
let's
That's
go
right.
again. So,
But yeah, I mean, no, the offense, going back to the offense and kind of looking at, obviously Dan Wilson really likes his platoons, right? Against the
yes,
against
he
the
does.
righties, we're seeing, Canzone and Rayleigh in there, as well as JP and Cole Young staying in the lineup. And then against the lefties, we're seeing Rob Refschneider, the now injured Robles obviously was in there for a while too.
Hmm.
What do you think they're going to do when? I mean, obviously Luke Rayleigh currently is batting just under 300. He has the second tied for the most RBIs on the team. He's hitting the ball with authority. He's playing good defense. Balls that catches at the wall. I mean, is there a
Yeah.
time where you think Luke Rayleigh just gets full playing time in right field and we don't even consider Robles for a
Um, you
platoon?
know, yeah, Rayleigh's batting 293 with 10 RBIs and 3 home runs, I believe, right now. With
Hmm.
Robles being on the IL, honestly, I think as bad as hard as it is for me to say, I think you have to leave Rayleigh in there. Um,
Dude.
obviously, against righties. I mean, we saw yesterday Canzone didn't. I know Garver was catching and Cal
Hmm.
was DHing, so I think that was why. But Rayleigh was in the lineup over Canzone, and Canzone hasn't been
Hmm.
playing bad either. But I mean, he's been playing all right, not as good as Luke Rayleigh, but
No.
yeah, I think right now, especially, I think even with especially with Patrick Wisdom up two, I mean, Luke Rayleigh's probably going to see um, a lot of at bats against lefties as well.
Hmm.
I think you leave him in there if he keeps hitting righties the way he's hitting them right now, then yeah, he's going to be in that lineup a lot more. And then if he starts hitting even decent against left-handers, I think he's going to be in there every day.
I
You
mean,
kind of
so I'm
have
looking right
to.
now forward to the probable pitching, and it looks like we have righties the whole series against the Padres. So he'll for sure be in the lineup the next 3 days.
Yeah,
Rob Refsnyder kind of having a kid at the right point where he has no opportunity anyway to play. So, um,
yeah. I mean that's true. So Patrick Wisdom, we might not even see him. Maybe only like off the bench or something.
yeah, off the
If
bench when a
that.
lefty comes in, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
big shout out to the hitting for figuring some things out, but the true MVP of the team right now is the pitching, starting
mhm.
and bullpen. They have been lights out.
Yeah, they have been. Brian Wu going today is going to be good to get us started. It's great to see a sweep of a series, and Brian Wu didn't even have
Mhm.
to pitch, which is
Isn't that crazy?
awesome.
That's how
That is
deep our
crazy.
rotation is. Our,
Yeah,
the only guy that was in the Cy Young voting last year for the Mariners happened to
yeah,
be the best.
right. I want to talk about another thing with our pitching. How impressed are you with Emerson Hancock so far?
I mean, he's done everything he can to really show that he belongs on this roster. He
Yeah,
has his sweeper looks insane. His arm slot dropped a little bit, like we talked last episode, and it's looking really good. I mean, he's shown that he can be a true contender in this lineup or in this rotation, and it's going to be an interesting conversation when Miller comes back. So,
yeah. If Hancock continues, because I don't believe there's a timeline on Ross Miller yet. So
mm.
if
No, I mean early in the season, Depoto did mention that he should be back late May on the team, but
right,
obviously we haven't really gotten a lot of updates since then. I think I saw something that he threw his first bullpen in a while and things were good, but We don't have any definite times of when he'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So if Hancock keeps pitching the way he does, I mean, his last start didn't look as good, but it was still solid. If he keeps pitching like he has been, I think then there's a real conversation like,
Hmm.
hey, what do we do? Most likely, Bryce Miller will probably still come back and get his spot in the rotation back. But if he struggles, I think then I think there's a real chance that Hancock could be back up. So
Hmm.
it would be interesting, but it's great to see that he's been able to fill that spot for sure.
Who do you think's been the most impressive this year so far in the rotation? Because obviously Logan Gilbert's had his moments. George Kirby's been going deep into games. We've seen Castillo shut out the Yankees, but then get beat up by a team like the Rangers or like the Astros.
Hmm.
Who's been the most impressive? We talked about Hancock a little bit, but who out of that group has been the most?
Honestly, the most impressive to me, um, and surprising, I would say, has been George Kirby.
Hmm.
Kirby's gone into the eighth back-to-back games. The only reason he came out last start in the eighth, or the only reason he didn't make it through the full eighth inning last start was because of his pitch count. Just got up there. They kept him in.
And
He had
Yordan
relief.
Alvarez was the guy up.
Yeah, so I've honestly been most impressed with George Kirby. He's been a workhorse so far. I mean, going 8 innings back-to-back games is crazy.
Seriously, and this early in the season, especially.
Yeah, this early in the season for sure. Yeah, he's been really impressive to me. Obviously Wu is, like been great, but I think George Kirby. Who is it for you?
It's also Kirby. For me, it's just the efficiency that he has in both of his starts. I mean, we're looking at innings that he's getting out of innings under 10 pitches, multiple innings in a row. We've seen him, obviously, like you said, go into the eighth twice. He had a complete game, believe it or not, in that loss he had against the was that the Rangers? He had a complete game in that loss. He went 8 innings,
I
gave
believe
up
so.
3 runs. But
Yeah,
since we since we didn't score anything in the top of the ninth, they didn't have to pitch the bottom. So
yeah, right.
he's been very impressive, and we've seen Kirby have the stuff to be considered a Cy Young guy, and I think this is the year where he takes that step forward and really puts himself as at the pinnacle of this rotation.
Yeah, he's trying to get noticed around the league so he can get paid. So he's got
Yeah, get
options.
paid or traded, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I mean, we hate to talk about losing a guy like Kirby, but realistically, we're not going to be able to keep all these guys. So there's going to be, of
Right.
course, some conversation about that.
Yeah, but it's been great to see that. I mean, having Kirby at this level and at the like giving the production that we've come to want or expect out of him with Brian Wu and
Mm.
Logan Gilbert and Castillo, like that's awesome. That's huge. You know, like
And that's okay. If
him.
he's the underdog in this rotation, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Who,
he's your
Kirby?
underdog and he's an ace on, like, let's say half the other teams in the MLB,
Oh,
awesome.
easy. Yeah, for sure. That's a great position to be in for the Mariners. So
And then
yeah,
looking at the bullpen, I mean, obviously we have some names that are kind of, not what we anticipated to be contributing, but between Cooper Criswell, Casey Legumina, and Cole Wilcox, they've really eaten up some innings when our bullpen was thin, and collectively they've only given up 5 of those earned runs.
yeah, yeah. Which has been good to see. I mean, our bullpen, has always been pretty strong the past few
Hmm.
years. I've been impressed with Legumina. What we've seen from
Hmm.
him. But yeah, kind of those underrated, I guess, guys, kind of giving some production, which has been nice to see.
And especially, in the series against the Astros, we were leading so many of the games that we weren't going to use our high leverage guys, and Matt Brash and Munoz and Spire all that often,
Right,
just when we
exactly.
needed them to.
It's also tough to before the Astros series, pitching with no run support
Hmm.
from our offense. Even
That's all they're getting
pitching,
now.
yeah, well, yeah, for now. Let's hope it
For
continues.
now,
But
yeah.
coming out of the bullpen, obviously it's tough for the starters. All right, like that, no doubt about that. But pitching out of the bullpen too with no run support is tough. I mean, a lot of those guys, as they're like we have a lot of high leverage guys or guys who are going to pitch
Mhm.
in high leverage situations, or that's kind of where you make your money in the bullpen. But a lot of our guys have been coming in and needing to eat up innings with no run support, so it's kind of a
Mhm.
different. Um, what do you call it? Like a different atmosphere to come into a game or
Yeah.
pitch from the bullpen specifically when you don't have any run support and you're losing.
Because obviously,
So,
let's say you're in the bullpen and you're coming in, you're down 5, and you're just kind of trying to do damage control,
hmm
right? Making sure no one's getting on, not giving up any big hits. But and when you're leading in a game, you're doing the same thing, but it's a whole different energy. And then the third
yeah,
energy is what you're
energy,
saying
exactly.
now is the hey, it's a tie game or it's a 0-0 game,
Yeah.
and you know it's both being a bullpen pitcher is such a difficult job in the MLB because you get such little recognition for doing so much,
hmm
especially when you're a middle reliever and not the closer or the setup man,
Yeah.
like
And you
Munoz or Brash. So
Yeah, and you're typically only pitching like one inning. So,
mm,
those guys feed off of energy, like coming, they're sitting for 6, 7 innings or whatever, and then they got to come in and pitch an inning, and you're down by 4 or 5 runs, and the offense hasn't given any run support the past like 4 games. It's like, the energy is not high there, but when you come in from the bullpen with the lead or in a really close game or a tie game, it's that just that energy is so different, and that's kind of what those guys feed off of. You know, so hopefully the bullpen stays consistent, and if our offense starts getting back on track, getting some run support, I think the bullpen will be even better going forward.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Our pitching is going to carry us as long as the bullpen can keep it going as well. So
For sure. We haven't lost a game since Ichiro's statue has been revealed with the broken bat.
it
It
always
was a
seems like something. Last year was the Etsy Witch, and this year, early in the
Yeah,
season, so far it's the broken Ichiro bat.
yep, exactly. I think right before that was revealed right before the Astros series, so we were in a really bad start, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so fitting for this is the sums up the Mariners season right here, bad
Seriously.
season."
And then you go
Now
and
we're
sweep your AL West rivals.
Yeah, exactly. So let's
Well,
hope that
I have the
happens when we
statue
do
right
hit.
here. My girlfriend told me I had to break this bat if I want the Mariners to never lose a game again, but I'm not going to do that.
I
So,
think you got to break the bat.
well,
Yeah, there was.
obviously there's been a lot of really, interesting things to say the least this season already. Starting off not 4-9, sweeping the Astros, the broken bat. Um, One other thing I wanted to talk about is Josh Naylor and kind of the ups and downs of his season so far.
hmm
If based on Baseball Savant, he is statistically one of the most unlucky hitters so far in MLB this year. Um,
I
his
believe it.
expected batting average is supposed to be way higher than his actual batting average. He's hitting just under what is it, 150 now, something like that. But his
hmm
expected batting average has been much higher. And obviously, he had the 2 home runs the other day, so we can't gripe on him too long. But what is it going to look like if we can't get this guy rolling? I mean, before the 2 home run game, he looked like Donovan Solano out there.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And I
Yeah,
love you, Josh Naylor. No, no, no. Hey, it's just it's tough seeing a player of your pedigree to struggle this much.
yeah. Well, like you said, he has hit the ball hard a lot this year so far. He's had a lot of good at bats that have resulted in outs, which
Hmm.
is very unfortunate. It's kind of baseball is one of those sports where you can hit the ball hard, but if it's right at someone, it sucks. Like you did everything right, but it's just you got
Not to mention the
unlucky.
Joe Adele home run robbery.
Yes, that you could hit 3 home runs and they all got robbed. So that happens too, which that's why there's a defense out there. But
Hmm.
um, you know, Josh Naylor is a huge part of our offense. We signed that big contract because he's going to be contributing to basically the heart of our be the heart of our lineup
Hmm.
with Cal and Julio. So we got to get him going. I think with him, because he's had good at bats and he's hit the ball hard, I think it's just one of those things where you just got to keep doing it, and then eventually he's going to start getting lucky, and he'll be right back to what we expect to see. I'm not worried about him. It sucks that
No.
he's looking like Donovan Solano out there, but
Yeah, I mean, if he
it,
was still hitting at this, like, let's say a third of the way in the season, oh
then
yeah,
yeah,
we're definitely having a conversation about what that looks like. But
yeah,
we just
something
we
needs to
just passed
change
the
at that point.
10% of we just passed 10% of the way through the season. I'm not really worried about him yet. He did add a leg kick this last game where he had the 2 home runs, so I'd be curious to see if he continues on with that until he can figure out his timing. But
Yeah, maybe he switched something up a little bit to try to get his timing on track, or just
and that's what the best hitters do. I mean, speaking of Ichiro, I mean, dude was as consistent as could be, but he was always tweaking things throughout his season. He was never complacent with how his swing looked. So hopefully
right.
Josh Naylor's taking one out of his book there.
Dude, I hope so. But yeah, we got to get him going. We got
One
to
of
get Julio going. Oh my gosh.
well, I think Julio's actually batting over 200 now, so you can't talk bad
Oh,
about him now.
oh my bad. All right.
Yeah, he's batting
Oh,
212. Look at that.
wow, he's over the
In his
hump.
last
Good
7 games,
job.
he's batting over 250. So, hey, you know what? This is the soonest Julio's been this hot in a while.
This is the soonest he's been over 200 in the
Yeah.
season to start. So, all right. I guess he's having the best start of his career.
One more thing I wanted to say about Josh Naylor, though, is even though he's not hitting the way we thought he would, he's still playing the defense that we knew he would. He made a great over the head catch against the Astros this week with a runner on third and was able to gun it back in soon enough where the guy didn't score. Great defensive play. Obviously, the pickoff of Altuve, and Josh Naylor said, "Oh, he didn't know the ball was coming," but I don't believe that. I still think he there was a planned play, but he's still finding ways to contribute, and I think that's the reason why the fans love Josh Naylor, and that's why the Mariners love Josh Naylor. Is even if one part of this game is not playing right now, hopefully the rest of them are going to play, and then it'll all round out eventually.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm excited for the Padres series to start today.
hmm
That's going to be a great series. So let's hope
We
we
got
keep it
Wu
rolling.
going tonight against Michael King. Arguably the Padres' best pitcher, and then tomorrow it looks like it's going to be Hancock versus Vasquez, and then rounding out the series on Thursday with Luis Castillo against Walker Bueller. Both of those guys have had some very interesting ups and downs in their career, so it'll be really interesting to see their inflated ERAs if it leads to an offensive game or if they both pull it together. So
For sure. I mean, Bueller's been at times like one of the best pitchers in the league, and then at other
mhm,
times has struggled. Same, no, just like
mhm.
Castillo. So
Just like
yeah,
Castillo,
you're right.
Castillo's been more consistent, I'd say, but
Yeah,
when he has a bad game, it's
Bueller.
pretty rough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Bueller. But yeah, guys, it's really good to see the Mariners fight back, claw their way back to only one game under 500. Again, 2 back from the Rangers with a big series this weekend looming against the Texas Rangers back at home. So let's hope the pitching can sustain. Let's hope the bullpen can sustain, and let's hope that offense really shows what they can do because that last series again they had 29 walks in 4 games. That's how you
Yeah,
score runs, getting on
that is
base and taking advantage of them when you do. So.
100%. Got to be patient at the plate. That's good to see because to start off the season we were a little aggressive, a lot of
Oh
aggressive,
man,
honestly.
a lot of aggressive. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Cal still has, I think, one of the most strikeouts in the league. Um,
yeah.
as we said today, I'm actually going to look it up really quick before we close this out.
Bro. Hey, he has 2 home
Yeah,
runs. Come on.
he has 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Yeah, he has 24 strikeouts, which is tied with Zach Neto and Ian Happ for 6th in the league. So could be worse, could be better, but
Hmm.
um, I wanted to mention one more time, please. Go ahead and thank you. We appreciate all of you as a subscriber. So please participate in the giveaway. Again, go to our Instagram, Talking Tridents, comment Nuke Rayleigh, and we will pick a winner by the 24th on our most recent post that will be up tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday, the 15th.
Yep, we'll leave a link to our Instagram in the comments section of in the comments and the description of this video.
Well, let's go win. Let's go get the Vetter Cup off to a good series. Let's go sweep the Padres,
Yes,
sweep the Rangers,
sir.
and keep the good vibes rolling.
Hey, yep, let's do it. See you guys. Thanks for watching this episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. We'll be back at you next video. See ya.